everybody, it's Carla with Cobweb Corner Cross Stitch and welcome to FlossTube number 33. I am glad that I'm able to get one more video in before Christmas. It is Friday the 20th. So it's almost here. I had the best news ever this week. My daughter, who did not think she was going to be able to come home for Christmas due to work, is coming home, and she's going to be here for almost a week. So she's going to arrive late afternoon on Christmas Eve day and doesn't go back until very, very early in the morning on New Year's Eve day. So I am so excited that she's going to be home. It doesn't seem like Christmas at our house because we have not decorated at all. We are repainting and recarpeting our office, which is pretty big. And all of the furniture from the office and all of the boxes and everything that was in there is out in our living room. And we had no place to put a tree. We had to make a temporary office or set up a table for my husband's computer. And I'm working in the back room where my inventory is. So I didn't get any Christmas decorations out. But oh well, it's still going to be very Christmassy. I started my baking today, finally. I was getting a little nervous about that, but I made frosted sugar cookies. So I have three things that I make every year. I make frosted sugar cookies, Chex Mix, which we call Scrabble, and the almond bark covered pretzels. And when I do those, about half of them I put red and green M&Ms on top. So those are the three things that I always make every year. And we usually do something special for Christmas Eve dinner. And then Christmas Day with my family, for the last 15 years, we've just done a simple Christmas brunch. And it is so nice because it's super easy, stress-free. Since my mom's having a little bit of trouble with her eyesight and stuff, I'm going to bring breakfast over to their house, and I make a egg baked dish the night before, mix it up and let it sit in the fridge, and then I bake it the next day. And I'm bringing a coffee cake and a fruit salad, and that's about it. And then my sister-in-law is going to bring some snacks and some other things for later in the afternoon. So I'm really excited. I can't wait. And I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, no matter what holiday, if any, you celebrate. Exciting news for our channel. We had over 40 new people subscribed to our channel. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of the channel, and I will post it below. But we had a call out that somebody who was watching us, she listed a whole list of FlossTube channels that she had been watching and was suggesting to other people. And fortunately for us, Cobweb Corner was one of them. And it really made a difference. I just can't believe what that little bit of exposure does. So I had told you that we would have a big giveaway when we were at 500 subscribers, and we are at 526 as of the making of this video. So stay tuned, and we're going to be giving away a lot of things. So lots of people have an opportunity to win some things. Last week's giveaway was for Christmas Friends by Just Nan, and it includes the bead pack and also a slightly damaged, sorry, I shouldn't show the pattern. I did that last one and I didn't even think about it. Prairie Schooler Santa of 2001. And to enter that giveaway, you just had to use the word Christmas and stitch or stitching in your comments somewhere. So the winner for this is Marty Green. Marty, if you're watching, please contact me. My email is below, and let me know that you're the winner of the giveaway, and I will get that mailed to you. And she said she likes to do Christmas stitching the day after opening presents. That's the perfect time to stitch. And, usually that day is much more relaxed than the days leading up to the day of opening presents, so I can't blame her. Okay, I want to share my work in progress. I am stitching Sunflower Farms by Core Betty Core. And last time, I think I had just finished this flower and the bird. So I had finished the house, basically this rectangle right here. That's where I was last time. So this week, I finished the flowers up here, and then I started this, I don't know if it's not really a wagon, but it's got wheels on it and it's a plant. So that part will be this right here. So I got, considering it's only been a week for me, that's a lot. And I am a one project stitcher. I very rarely work on more than one thing in a single week. So love this chart. It's been really popular on my site, also Sunflowers Farms. So that's where I'm at. I have a lot to cover this week. So I want to get right on with the sampler history lesson. And last week, the lesson was about mourning samplers. So samplers who were in honor or mentioned someone in the family who had passed away. And after that section, the book, again, the books that I'm using are Childhood Embroidery by Betty Ring. And it's a history of American samplers, starting from, this one doesn't say on this book, from the 1600s to the 1800s, I think. And it's a 2-volume set, and I'm going through volume 1. And if you are interested in this book, it's an excellent resource for learning more about samplers and the role that they played in the education of women in the early history of America. And there's a link to this book in my Amazon shop, and my Amazon shop is listed below in the more information section. So the next parts of the book discuss regions of early America and the samplers in the history of samplers in those regions. So the part, I got a little bit of reading to do. Let me know if it's too much reading. I think it's interesting, and I try to limit it to as little as possible, but and still give you the information I think is pertinent to the topic that we're discussing. So this one is on Massachusetts, and Massachusetts is the location of the earliest known remaining sampler. So that the earliest known still in existence type of thing sampler. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the introduction and then read the information about the sampler. So it said it's called The Pilgrim Century, and the chapter name is The Needlework of Massachusetts. It says New England received less than 1/3 of the 60,000 Englishmen who left the Old World for the New between 1620 and 1642. But the colony in Massachusetts Bay was destined to exceed in importance the West Indian settlements favored by the majority of English immigrants during the reign of Charles I. Those who went to New England braved the Atlantic Ocean for both economic and religious reasons, but their success in the colony depended on conforming to the code of behavior decreed by Puritan leaders, who established the civic and cultural traditions of their homeland, including an equal degree of religious intolerance. In 1636, they founded Harvard College, which I did not know Harvard College was that old. I mean, that's like really, really about as early as you can get. In 1636, they founded Harvard College to train their ministers, and the customary patterns of primary education in England were transplanted to New England shores as soon as an orderly lifestyle prevailed. Small boys and girls first learned to read and spell, and the girls to sew in the home of a local schooldame. These private elementary schools in 17th and early 18th century Boston were generally called reading schools. Despite Puritan sumptuary laws, and I had to look up sumptuary. Sumptuary is limiting expenses on luxury or finery items. So trying to only spend your money on things that are truly needed, which I could do a little bit more of. So despite Puritan sumptuary laws, which sought to reduce the type of finery that ornamental needlework made possible, Massachusetts produced the only American samplers and pictorial embroideries that have survived from the 17th century. If fortuitous, it is also wonderfully appropriate that the earliest surviving colonial sampler was worked by Loara Standish. It's Loara. only daughter of the famous Miles Standish. Laura's sampler was undated and her exact lifespan is unknown. Her existence was recorded only by her sampler and her father's wish, quote, to be laid as near and conveniently may be to my two daughters, Laura Standish, my daughter, and Mary Standish, my daughter-in-law. It is therefore evident that she predeceased him, and as did the young daughter-in-law, and a 19th century investigation revealed that he was indeed buried between two teenage girls. Standish's first wife came with him on the Mayflower. I just think that is like so amazing, but died of the sickness during her first year in Plymouth. Loera's mother, Barbara, of unknown surname, arrived on the Anne in July or August of 1623. Miles Standish and Barbara had 3 sons, and before May 27, 1627, and in unknown order, Laura and 3 other sons were born after this date. Let's see, with Barbara on the Anne were the wives and children of some of the early settlers. Only 7 of the 12 children who came on the Mayflower survived the first winter, but at least 60 children or young people were in Plymouth by 1627. Little is known of their daily life, and since no records of a school survive, it is often assumed that none existed in Plymouth during the mid-17th century. Yet Loera's incredibly intricate sampler and a contemporary example are sound evidence that a capable woman was teaching Plymouth girls in the customary English manner. This schoolmistress was probably Miss Margaret Hicks, who came on the Anne with her children in 1623. She was the wife of Robert Hicks, fellmonger from Southwark. And I also had to look up the word fellmonger, and that is a person who works with skins or hides, specifically sheepskins. So not only am I learning about samplers, but I'm increasing my vocabulary. He arrived in Plymouth on the Fortune in 1621. When the respected pilgrim Dr. Samuel Fuller died in Plymouth in 1633, he left the following instructions for his executors. Oh my goodness, his executors. My will is that when my daughter Mercy is fit to go to school, that Mrs. Hicks may teach her as well as my son. Fuller's reference to Mrs. Hicks indicates that she was an esteemed schoolmistress. Robert Hicks died in 1647, but Margaret Hicks lived until 1665 and may have taught for 20 or 30 years. Another 17th century sampler survives from a well-known family. Mary Hollingsworth was the only child of a wealthy Salem merchant, and she is said to have studied with Madame Piedmont, a celebrated instructress of that day in Boston. In 1793, Salem diarist William Bentley noted that she had the best education of her times, wrote with great ease, and has left a specimen of her needlework in her infancy or youth. So I just thought that was fascinating that this author of this book tied sampler making and education of early girls to as early as 1630s. That just amazes me. So I'm going to show you the sampler by Loera. I don't know if it's Laura or Loera. It says it was around 1640 to 1650. It is silk on linen and signed Laura Standish in my name, and in a variety of upper and lowercase letters, several of which are backwards and others are missing. It has a longer than average verse for this period, and the verse is, Lord, give my heart that I may do thy will, also fill my hands with such convenient skill as may convince to virtue void of shame, and I will give the glory to thy name. And it's hard to read it because, like, I'm assuming it's the word convince, but it's spelled Condvce, Condvce, and virtue is spelled Vertue, things like that. So I'm going to show you the sampler here. And you can see it is quite long. Beautiful band sampler. And can you believe the shape that it's in, considering it is from 1640 approximately? Is so amazing. So that's the earliest known surviving sampler. And the other one is by Mary Hollingworth from around 1665, silk on linen. She was the daughter of William Hollingsworth. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. She married Philip English, a very successful Salem merchant, on July 1st, 1675. In 1962, Mary and Philip were accused of witchcraft and imprisoned, but escaped to New York. Eventually exonerated, they returned to their plundered Salem property. This incident, however, is believed to have caused Mary's early death. During Mary's absence, 4 of her children stayed with Mr. Holyoke in Boston, and Susanna, the youngest, boarded with Mary Turfree in Boston, where she remained until she was 18. Bentley describes an elaborate specimen of her employment at school. And Madame Turfree placed the first advertisement for a girls' school in an American newspaper, the Boston Newsletter, September 2nd, 1706. Wow. So that's quite a history. So that's the sampler by Mary. So beautiful. I hadn't read that paragraph before describing the figure, the image here, and so I was unprepared for the information about the witchcraft. So that's the sampler history lesson for today, and we'll continue with Massachusetts next week, or whatever I find that I think you might think is interesting. So what did I do business-wise? I'm going to skip the business topic this week. I'm trying to keep this short so that we have time to listen, but I did work on inventory, and I have some just released items to show you from some of our favorite designers. So these are brand new designs. This is Turkey Trio by Waxing Moon, and Christmas Tree Trio by, and I really like this one. This one it says Merry Christmas, Peace, Hope, and Joy and Love, and they're all kind of like feather trees, and I really like this one with the kind of squiggly, kind of reminds me of a Charlie Brown tree. So I really like that one. This one is new by Cross-Eyed Cricket, Over the River. And it's got trucks and campers and a VW bug with antlers on it. Quick and easy stitch. And then the Blue Flower, if you remember, her name is Janine McGowan. She is a brand new, she debuted her designs at the 2019 market in Nashville in March. And this is brand new by her, and it's called Sleeping Bee. Love that. It's really, really beautiful. And then also by the Blue Flower is Winter Valentine. And the first one is 2 cardinals, looks like under mistletoe. And then down here is a male cardinal and a female cardinal. It says, Love Warms the Heart. So those are brand new by the Blue Flower. And then this is not brand new, but I really like the buttons in this. This is actually a design by Just Another Button Company. And it's a design of this chubby cardinal sitting on a spool of thread. And it includes these buttons. So 3 heart buttons, a little tiny heart button, and then a black button. So when they advertise these on their site, they like free chart, free design with button pack. But I love the design. I just love that chubby cardinal. Brand new by Chessie and Me is the Friends of the Mill sampler. And it says, good friends are hard to find, harder to leave, and impossible to forget. And it's got the mill with the patriotic flag and a large alphabet. New by Betty Quarry is Miniature Angels. Those would be quick stitch is if you wanted to stitch something by core, eBetty core, that would be an easy one. It's got her signature little patterned wings and just little different things in every design. I love her designs. Brand new by Hands On Design is Holly Jolly Farm. You get all three of the designs. And brand new by Blackbird Designs is Frosty's Night Out. He's really cute. And brand new by Kathy Barrick. At least I think this is brand new. Yep, brand new by Kathy Barrick. I love this. It's a stocking. It's called the Ocean Blue Stocking. And look at this big whale. It's got a mermaid down here, the ship with all these sails, the sun, alphabet along the top, and then a whole bunch of fish. This is just such a unique design. It's so cool. I love that. Kathy Barrick has such a unique style. Then what I wanted to show you was a sampling of things that I get that I don't order from wholesale. So these are charts that I got from a personal collection. I've actually had them for quite a few years and just got around to entering them. But I wanted to give you an idea of some of the things that I get in. Many are out of print and some are harder to find. And sometimes they include little extras. So this is by Heartstrings, Christmas Gathering. And then by Sue Hillis Designs, this is still in print. And you get these really cute little mittens. And the mittens go right there. It's really cute. And I really like this one by Victoria Sampler. I don't know if there's a date. 2006. And this is called, Christmas Village. Don't you love the way the lacework stitching looks? Just so pretty. It's got Santa Claus up there. And it says, I heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play. And wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill toward men. That would make a great heirloom sampler. And then this one by Sisters and Best Friends. This is from 2002. And it says, warm winter welcome. And then you actually get the knit sweater and 3 buttons for the sweater. Those are included. So that's really cool. And on the same line, I believe, with kind of whimsical alphabet, and you get the stocking and a button. So I think those are really, those would be things that you wouldn't be able to find. And if this had already been stitched, it's from a personal collection, but obviously it wasn't stitched because, or at least they didn't use the extras that came with it. So those are really unique. A Summer Place by Cross-Eyed Cricket. Ladies Night Out. Again, these are all from a pre-owned collection, but they are in brand new condition almost. Sam and Sarah Gather New Friends. A Merry Little Winter by Sam and Sarah. And then this one is Cinnamon Stick Santa number 18. Wishing Thee Merriness. Let's put the date on there. 2003. So this is from Homespun Elegance 2003 from the Cinnamon Stick collection. Love the design, and it includes the extra metallic button that you need to complete this or embellish it. You wouldn't have to have it, but that's again, it's not just another button company. It's actually metal, and those things can be hard to find. Another one, I love these stacked animal things. Homespun Elegance Summer Greetings. Two Familiars by Cross-Eyed Cricket, and it includes the cutout pattern for this cat, and this is called Hat and Cat. And then it's got Nevermore with a raven. Red, White, and Blue by Sam Sarah. The 1999 Santa by Mosey and Me. And pretty much all of these, I only have one copy because they were from a personal collection. Homespun Collectibles 1999 by It's called the 1999 Collection of Santas. And this one's really cute too. This is Waxing Moon, 2003. This is from, and it's called Christmas Stack. And then again, it's a stacking. It's got the sleigh, then a reindeer, then Santa, then a tree, then gingerbread man, and an angel. It's so cute. And Mighty Thankful by Sam Sarah. It's got the acorn, which says be mighty. From an acorn comes a mighty oak. And give thanks with a white pumpkin, or kind of off-white pumpkin. And Snowman's Prayer. Snowman's Prayer is Please Snow, and that is by Angel Stitchin'. And then this one I really like. It's by Rosewood Manor. It's called Good Foundations, and it says, Lord, send your blessings from above to this house built on faith, hope, charity, and love. And then it has all kinds of words going around the border, like appreciation, oh, I didn't notice this. It's a word from every letter of the alphabet. Z is zeal, and X is exultation. Has a little tiny E and an X. Isn't that cool? It's by Rosewood Manor. Good Foundations. Tiny Little Teapots by Cross My Heart. Cross My Heart books. I really like Cross My Heart designs. And these are super, they're beginner level charts. And last was Holy Night. Is this brand new? Oh, can't remember. This was a brand new design by Shepherd's Bush or not. And I do have the button packs available for this. So that's some of the inventory that I entered this week. Just to give you an idea of what's come in. So next, I want to do a new segment. I was in Barnes & Noble this week shopping for gifts, and because I love to buy books for people. And I never, ever purchase poetry, ever. And Michelle at Bendy Stitchy does a segment. She has a really cool book that has a poem for every number of DMC floss from whatever numbers there were at the time that the book was written. And she chooses a poem to read in her videos. And I thought that is so cool, but just not something I would ever do. And I happened upon a poetry section, and I picked up like 4 books and just kind of flipped through them. And then I picked up this book, and immediately I was like, this is so cool. I'm buying this for my daughter. And then I got it, and I got home and started reading through it. And I ended up buying 6 more copies. I bought one for me and one for each of my nieces. The name of the book is The Rose That Blooms in the Night, and it is by Allie Michelle. And I would say the poems are geared toward women, and especially young women. So there's quite a few poems about relationships and lost loves or love at first sight kind of thing. Well, I don't. It's not like a mushy kind of thing, but there's also a lot of poems about being strong and being your own person and that type of thing. And I've been reading it all week long. And when I got my gifts ready to ship to my nieces, I went through and found a poem that I thought reminded me of that niece, and then called that poem out to them and told them to read that first. So I'm going to read I'm going to have a segment where I read a poem from this book, at least for a while, and give me your thoughts on this. The one that I chose for today is called Social Media. And again, it's by Allie Michelle. And I'll just read it, and then you could, maybe tell me what you think. Social media. I scroll through my feed and wish I had my life. I watch as people lose their worth comparing followers and likes. They tell you that you will be successful if you become more like them. But your power comes from the unique ways that you're you. I have never done well at fitting into a square box. I compare my squares to theirs, and all of a sudden I feel lost. Then there is the pressure to constantly produce perfect art. It is forgotten instantly, and then you're right back at the start. How can I be original in a space with so much noise? I suppose all I really have is my own authentic voice. It is a dangerous game that we're all playing, chasing money, chasing fame, and finding our true selves. But if a flower worried about instant gratification, she would never have time to bloom. So turn off your phone, put your hands on your heart, and give yourself some room. I promise that is more real than the content you consume. I just thought that was a very fitting poem for me personally. I tend to spend a lot of time on social media, not just for my business, but I can get caught up in YouTube videos, especially cat videos. You know, I'm a cat person, and I know that I spend too much time, and I've tried to in the last few months, well, actually, since I started doing FlossTube and watching FlossTube, I've tried to put down my phone and get back to stitching and just, you know, do things, other things that I feel are much more productive. And it doesn't always work, but, you know, small steps. So let me know. Again, that's The Rose That Blooms in the Night. There is a link to this book in my Amazon store, and my Amazon store link is down below in more information. So next is the giveaways. The giveaways for reaching 500 subscribers. So here's the rules. I'm going to show you the item that's being given away and tell you what phrase to use in your comments. You can, in a single comment, enter up to 3 of the things that you like and be eligible to win one. So if your name is chosen, the first time your name is chosen, that's the item you'll win. So I want to be able, I think there's 15 or 16 items, and I would like 15 or 16 people to have the chance to win something. So use a single comment and enter the phrase or phrases that I mentioned in order to, don't use the word giveaway. And with the new rules on Facebook, I also need to state that you need to be 18 in order to enter, because I can't legally take the address of someone who is under 18. So the first thing I'm giving away is the Cross Stitch Journal by It's So Emma. And I really like these. You have room to enter the pattern name, designer, the start and end date, what fabric you stitched on, and the stitch count, and the stitch size. And then you can make comments about floss. You can do a time tracker and notes. And I think there's room for up to 50. If you would like a chance to win this, please enter. I would like the journal. I would like the journal. The next one is called Spring Fever by Mosey and Me. And I want to also say that the majority of these are from a personal collection. So they are, you can just assume that they are pre-owned. If there's anything wrong with them or any kind of damage, I'll point that out. So the next one is called Spring Fever from 1995 by Mosey and Me. And it's 2 little bunnies, Mr. and Mrs. Bunny. It's so cute. If you would like a chance to win that, say, I would like to stitch Spring Fever. The next one is by Trail Creek Farm, and it's called I Love Uncle Sam. And you can say, I would like to stitch Uncle Sam. The next one is Lizzie Kate Fall Crazy. All kinds of little fall designs. And for that one, say, I would like to stitch Fall Crazy. And the next one is called Snow Friend Ornament. This is, it's got a big sticker spot on it, but it's brand new, never been opened. Cute, cute snowman in the forest. And it's a gold collection petites by Dimensions. And just say, I would like to stitch Snow Friend Ornament. The next one is Plum Street Samplers, Mary Brew. And say, I would like to stitch Mary Brew. The next one is by Hands On Design, Stitch Every Day. And I don't think there was ever anything included with this. This is a chart only. It is from a personal collection. It looks brand new. Stitch every day. I would like to stitch every day. Then by Witches Stitches, this is Isis Sophia from the Collector's Edition Pentacle series. And you can say, I would like to stitch Isis Sophia. The next one is by Custom Crafts, and it's called Mother's Love. A horse and a colt. Say, I would like to stitch Mother's Love. The next one is a Dimensions kit, new, unopened, and it's got little mice ornaments. So very quick stitches. They are so adorable. Say, I would like to stitch the mice ornaments, or mouse ornaments, I guess. The mice ornaments, mouse ornaments. The next one is 10 different sweetheart tree designs. So, and don't let the little cards fool you. So some of them are very deep, or have more detail than you expect. Well, this one's actually got, oh, I had that one backwards. So just say, I would like to stitch Sweetheart Tree. The next one is by Debbie's Designs, and it's an Easter banner. And say, I would like to stitch Easter banner. The next one is by Faithworks Designs, and it's called Forward Seasons Boxes. So one for each season. And say, I would like to stitch 4 seasons. The next one is by Hollis Designs from 2004, and it's called Harvest Littles. Say, I would like to stitch Harvest Littles. This one has some writing on it, but I don't think it's ever been used because it's this fold out stapled pattern, and it doesn't look like it's ever been removed. So the owner wrote stitching notes on it to calculate the size of fabric needed. And there's some there, and there's also some here. But I don't believe, I think the pattern itself is brand new. And this is by Rosewood Manor, and it's called As Ye Sow. And I love this. It's a stunning sampler. Large. I love the row of flower baskets down below, the sampler motifs. And then it says, all the flowers of tomorrow are in the seeds of today. All the flowers of tomorrow are in the seeds of today. It's just beautiful. So if you would like that, say, I would like to stitch As Ye Sow. The next one, this was a chart pack, and it's been removed from the chart pack and stapled together. So it's not a copy. It is the original. This one is by Designs by Linda Myers, and it's called Wool Gatherer's Cottage Farm. Wool Gatherer's Cottage Farm. And if you'd like a chance at this one, say, I would like to stitch Cottage Farm. And the last one we're giving away is by Mystic Stitch. This is a full coverage pattern, and it's called Spring Visit. So if you'd like a chance at this one, say, I would like to stitch Spring Visit. So make sure, if you need to rewind and go back through them again, like I said, use one comment and enter up to 3 items that you would like to win, and you'll get, if your name is drawn, you'll get 1 item. So and I'll just go down and say, oh, you know, when I'm doing the random picker, I'll just pull up the chart and I say, okay, I'm going to search for Spring Visit and pick a random one from that, and then whoever gets that will be a winner unless they've already won something. And then make sure you watch my next FlossTube video, because you have to watch the next video to find out if you won, and then you can contact me with your address. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed the sampler lesson, and let me know what you think about the poem also. and I hope that everybody has a just fabulous holiday. I love this time of year. It's hard for me when my daughter's gone, but so far I've been pretty lucky. Even when we lived in France, I was able to spend Christmas with my daughter, I think both years. So, isn't that weird? I can't remember. I know she was there for 1 year for sure. I think 1 year she came for Thanksgiving. So, I didn't see her at Christmas. And we don't get to see my husband's family this year, but we just saw them a couple weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, for my niece's play that she was in. So thanks for watching. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate everyone who has subscribed and who just watches and comments. I just am having so much fun with this, and I look forward to 2020 with y'all. Thanks a lot, and happy stitching, guys.